Anyway, this is a continuation of the story anyway. It cut me off, the video did, before I got to finish the story about the woman in the cab. Anyway, I had this woman get into my taxi cab. She got into the back seat. She told me to take her to Smiths Falls, which is the neighboring town from Perth. I pulled away from the curb, and I went around the corner to get the car pointed in the proper direction to go to Smiths Falls. And as I rounded the corner, she opened the back door and stepped out of the moving car. Scared the hell out of me. I stopped the car, and I got out of the car and asked her if she was all right, and then I asked her just what the hell she thought she was doing. And she started shrieking at me that I had attempted to abduct her. That I had tried to abduct her. She got into the car. I didn't make her get into the car. She asked me to take her to Smiths Falls. Well, if I had kept driving in the direction that the car was pointed, I would have been taking her away from Smiths Falls, not toward it. I needed to go around the corner, and then I needed to turn the corner again. I needed to make a right turn, and then I needed to make another right turn and go downtown. And then at a certain spot downtown, I needed to make a left turn and follow that street out of town, which would turn into a highway, which would take us to Smiths Falls. That's what I was doing. That was the quickest route to Smiths Falls from where we were, If I had kept going straight and not turned the corner, I would have been taking her right to the west end of town, to the far west end of town. And Smiths Falls is actually kind of southeast of Perth. It's not west of Perth. And I would have ended up, I could have turned right then and taken her to Ottawa, or I could have turned left and taken her to Toronto. But neither of those places is Smiths Falls, which is where she told me she wanted to go. So I was just taking her where she asked me to take her, but I ended up accused of trying to abduct the woman. It was just unbelievable. And I had a lot of experiences like that with women in my car. They do things like that, and just like I say, I got to the point where I just couldn't deal with it. That's all. And it wasn't just women either. There were also men who didn't act right. There were a lot of men who didn't act right. There were probably more men than women that didn't act right. But the difference was, with women, they didn't have to be drunk or high not to act right. With the men, they were either drunk or high if they were acting in a way they shouldn't have been. Anyway, that's the conclusion.